This is one of my favorite topics of all time, and that's about becoming a really dynamic presenter. One of the greatest challenges when you're actually inside of that listing presentation is that you've rope learned something that just doesn't connect with people. And the first thing I do is I have a pad and I have a pen, and I always write down the name of the client in the top right-hand corner. The reason I want to write down the name of the client in the top right-hand corner is that ultimately I don't want to forget anyone's name. So I'm going to write it down as like Hannah and Paul, and that way then I can go and have that great conversation with them throughout the course of the listing presentation. A notepad is incredibly dynamic. It allows you to be able to write down all of the key things that they go to discuss. And this is really about learning how to go to develop the questions. When someone, for example, says, hey, we've got a job relocation, the next question is, great, and where are you moving to? I'm going to move to Noosa. And are you going to be in a position that you're going to buy or lease when you get there? We're going to buy. And how much are you looking to spend? Or maybe circa 4. Okay, so if you're going to spend 4 million there, then what do you need to get here? Ultimately, I need to get at least maybe 3 million for mine. Now, all of a sudden, you're in a position, you say, okay, great. Look, I know some great agents up there. Did you want me to let them know that you're looking to buy and see whether or not we can find you something to buy? And by the way, what do you do for work? And is work going to be paying for some of the relocation costs? This dynamics is all of a sudden that you've got them, they're in the room, it's all about them and their situation. But ultimately, if you lose someone's attention, the best thing you can do is ultimately hand them a visual. Here's a sample marketing campaign. Hand them a brochure, let them touch and feel and really be a part of that conversation. The other key thing that you can do as a part of that is to make sure that you're incredibly dynamic by making sure you really zoom into their particular needs. And if you really need to get attention, get them up from behind that dining room table, take them to a key location in the home and say, Mr. and Mrs. Owner, is this the shot that you'd love to see inside of the campaign? This is a really important conversation because if someone's going to listen to you for like 25, 35, 45, 55 minutes, then ultimately you need to be incredibly dynamic around what you're doing. It's about learning to ask questions where you question to coach the solution, and ultimately you allow them to go to connect with you by telling some incredibly powerful stories. The ultimate story about why they should use you to actually be their agent. And that's some of the basics of what great agents do to make sure that they're more dynamic when they're presenting in that listing lounge room.